Welcome to Wild West Garage. My name is Morgan, and we're standing in the wilds of Quebec at a campsite here in Quebec, just outside of Quebec City. And so today's topic is the ProMaster van. This van doesn't belong to me, it belongs to some good friends of ours who insisted that we take it on our cross-Canada trip, and we gratefully accepted that offer, and we're very glad to have this van. It's made traveling so much more enjoyable for the most part, and I'm going to get around to that most part. Well, you know, when this thing's running right, it's great. And actually, it hasn't never really run poorly. It just gives us a bit of a scare when we're going through the highlands in Cape Breton. So I'll tell you what happened. We were driving along and a message came across the dash that said, "Service DEF system, drive to a dealer." And so that message went across the dash a few times, and it didn't seem to be affecting the way the vehicle drove. So I just kind of ignored it, kept driving, and then another message came across the dash saying that we had that the vehicle was going to derate within 300 kilometers. So that was of great concern to me, because at where we were at the time, it was just in a very remote area, no dealerships there that would know how to service this thing. Anyway, so we managed to get into Sydney, Nova Scotia, and we left it at a dealer there. We stopped. We actually camped in their parking lot overnight. We left it, and then when they opened up, they said, "Yeah, we can have a quick look at it." And so we went for a walk, and while we were on the walk, they phoned us and said that they'd fixed the van, and that we would be able to pick it up. So sorry, I was a little distracted by the staff here going by in their golf carts. So we thought that's great. And just to back up a bit, we had a ferry booking for the ferry to Newfoundland the day before, and when we started having all this trouble, so we canceled that. And then we were at the dealership, got the call saying that they had it fixed. So we rebooked the ferry, went and picked the van up, drove it for 15 minutes, and the countdown started again. So it was down to 220 something kilometers at that point. So I just turned around, took it back to the dealership, and said, "Look, we've got this ferry booked for Newfoundland. We're going to leave it here. If you guys think you can fix it, and then we'll rent a car, go over to Newfoundland, spend some time over there, 2 or 3 days." Is what we ended up doing. And hopefully you can get it fixed in that time. So I think it was the second day we were there, they phoned and said, we can't figure out this van, we can't fix it, we don't know what's wrong with it, but there's another dealer in another town 300 kilometers away, and they should be able to fix it, because they're a ProMaster like dealer, right? So fair enough. So then of course we're thinking about all these things we need to do and whatnot. So I phoned this other dealer, and they couldn't get us in until the 24th, which was like 2 weeks in the future. So, and we had to be back. So this is May 24th. We had to be back June 1st. So So anyways, we came back on the ferry, picked the van up, and they had told us that their tech had backed up that countdown to 300 kilometers or delayed it or something. So we should be able to drive it to this other dealer, which was almost 300 kilometers away. So anyways, we get in the van, and we get 5 minutes down the road, and the countdown starts again, and it's right kind of where we left it, like 220 kilometers, and that's not enough to get to where we're going, to this other dealer. So I thought, well, I gotta take this into my own hands. I'm a mechanic. I don't have any resources. I don't have any information on this van, and like I don't have any access to manuals or anything. I did have a scan tool in the van, and I did scan it. I did try deleting or erasing the codes earlier on. That didn't do anything. That didn't help in any way. So yeah, my arm's getting a little sore here. So anyways, I thought, well, I got to do something. So I just thought, I'm just going to disconnect the battery for a few minutes. Like I think I disconnected it for 5 or 6 minutes, not sure. Battery is underneath the footwell. There's a cover that comes off. It's right there. It's easy to disconnect. It's got a little flip. It's got a little thing you flip up on the battery connector, and it just comes off. Easy. So I did that, and we got back on the road, and that countdown didn't come back. The check engine light was still on. The countdown didn't come back. And so we've driven from Sydney, Nova Scotia to Quebec. So that's about 5 hours driving, I think. And the DEF message hasn't come back. The check engine light has come on a couple of times, like, you know, on a key cycle. So we stopped about an hour later. And when we got going on the road again, the check engine light was off. But it has come back on since. Another thing it does, it flashes this hill holder service message, and the ESC light comes on, and the tow haul light flashes on for a second. But that's been happening for the whole trip, so I'm not worried about that. It hasn't caused us any problems. But anyway, so if you I don't know if this will work for anybody else, but if you get that DEF message on your ProMaster van, try disconnecting the battery and you might be able to keep going. So anyways, we're having a good time. We're on our way home now, and we're gonna tour around Old Quebec City today. So that's what's on the agenda, and then we're heading to Montreal. My wife has a nephew there. I'm gonna visit him, so we're just gonna keep soldiering on here and get this rig back to the rightful owners. They've got some holidays booked with it, so hopefully it'll make it there, and they can enjoy their summer with it. Anyways, thanks for watching.